Hello, everybody. This is Zach from Montrose Game Corner here with a review slash kind of how to play overview of this game called Time Rift. It's a collectible card game based on people and artifacts from across history and different cultures around the world. It's actually pretty fun, a very intriguing game. What caught my attention was two main things. First off, I'm a big Doctor Who nerd, so the fact that the game has Time Rift, that immediately caught my attention. But the other thing that really hooked me in was the fact that it's marketed as having a complete two-player game in every pack. So I was like, okay, what's going on with that? So I checked it out, and I think it's worth sharing, worth talking about. It's very intriguing. So without any further ado, let's dive right into just checking this out. So we'll set the booster box aside for now. We'll just look at the starter game. So inside, and forgive me, I don't have all of the pieces, and I've lost a card from our starter kit from the time that I learned how to play it and everything, and I lost a card. So this doesn't quite match the full experience that you would get. I was a little confused, I will say, with the way it's marketed on the box. It includes everything 4 players need to play. So this game is from 2 to 4 players. It says it could take as little as 5 minutes to play around to about, what does it say on the box? About 5 to 10 minutes. I think when you first start playing it, it's going to take a little bit longer than that as you try to, as you get used to all the different mechanics and stuff like that. Really, there were only 3 complete decks and then a fourth set of kind of random cards. Technically there's enough there to play 3, and maybe it's because I lost one of the cards. We only really have enough in this kit now to play with 3 people with some extra cards that you can, customize the decks with. So this one came with a Japanese deck, a Roman, and Mongolian decks, and then some other cards, and I believe these are random in each box, judging from the deck list of the starter deck cards. There's definitely more in the starter set than what is able to be in the box. So a deck of Time Rift consists of 5 cards. That's it. So you have your champion, who's your, I want to say character, but these were real people. Your hero that you're going to be battling with on the playing field. And then you have 4 loadout cards. There's 4 different types. You have weapon, armor, special, and inspiration. And each one provides different effects and power-ups as you reveal them throughout the game. But that's it. There's no shuffling. There's no deck searching. All 5 of your cards are laid out once you start playing the game. Each card has various stats and mechanics. On the champions, it shows you their attack grid of which spaces they are able to attack at, their health, how many actions they can take each turn, their element. So there is an element to the game. Different elements like ether, fire, metal, wood, earth, water, and void. And they each have their own different specialties and interactions with other cards. And then each character has a life point total. The object of the game is to bring your opponent's champion's life total down to 0 and basically be last one standing or have the most life left at the end of the final round. So the game is laid out on a 4x4 grid where each space is big enough to hold your champion card. And then at the outside of the battlefield, there are 4 spots where you put your loadout cards. Technically, when you set up the game, you start with them all face down. And when you start round 1, everybody flips over their first loadout card, and that's the effects for the first round. After the first round is over, then you go to round 2, flip over that card, and you have those effects, and so on for 4 rounds. At the end of 4 rounds is where you determine the winner, whether last one standing or whoever has the most life left wins. The turn structure is pretty simple. Each character has an action stat that basically shows how many actions that character can take in a turn. In this case, these ones both can take 4 actions. An action consists of moving and attacking. That's it. There's two ways you can move. You can either just rotate your character, and that's an action, or you can move and rotate and take up another action. And then combat is then another action from there. They're restricted by what spaces they can attack at based off of the battle grid that they have on the top of each card. So they can only attack into a square that has a number in that spot. So like Cthulhu here can only attack and the square directly across to the diagonal left or to the direct left. And that's where movement comes into play. You can, if you're out of range, like Miyamoto here can't attack Cthulhu, so then you would use an action to move, or, maybe even just rotate, and now it gets a +1 attack bonus attacking from that angle. Characters can only move horizontally and vertically. They can't move diagonally, but they can attack into a diagonal space. Combat is pretty simple, though. There is an element that always throws me off when we keep playing. So you declare, when it's your turn, you declare your attack, whether you're doing a base attack or if you're using a weapon card's attack grid, if you have the weapon card active during your turn. So when you declare your attack, my instinct is always to have the attacker roll the dice first, but it's actually the defender rolls their dice first. So let's say, okay, I rolled a 7, a 4 and a 3. You roll 2d6, which comes with the starter kit. You get 7. Okay, so his defense plus any defense bonus here, that's the number to beat. So then the attacker rolls, okay, we got 3 plus 1, so 4. So since the attacker's roll value is lower than the defender, the attack misses. If it was the other way around, then it deals damage to the target, and that amount of damage is going to be the number that's on the spiked ball on the character's card. So you're not like doing 7 damage. If you get highest roll, then your character's going to do, in this case, 1 damage to the target. The dice roll element does kind of, like I said, it throws me off. Your mileage may vary. Maybe it's not an issue for others, but for me, my instinct is always, okay, it's my turn. I'm attacking. I roll the dice. But no, it's actually the defender who has to roll. So honestly, mechanics wise, that's the only thing that really throws me off. And so it's just a matter of just changing that mental habit from playing other games, which it's not that big a deal. All right, so again, the starter game comes with 3 to 4 playable decks, a couple dice, rulebook, and playmat. And really, yeah, it's got all of the details you need to play. And I do like that with the extra cards, it does give you the option for, once you get the hang of it, customize your deck, give your champions different loadout cards. It doesn't have to match the period of history they're from, hence the name Time Rift. History's all wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. And I do like how it says, if I can find the page. So yeah, Time Rift allows and encourages players to use a combination of cards from other cultures, regions, and times when selecting their loadout cards. For example, a player may choose a Norse champion wielding a Japanese weapon, wearing Egyptian armor using a Roman special card, with a Greek god as an inspiration. Why? Because you can. I love it. But yeah, so let's go into the other aspect again that intrigues me the most, is how the booster packs themselves are configured. So a booster box comes with 24 booster packs, and each pack contains 10 plus 3 cards. So the reason why it says it like that is because, and we'll go ahead and pull out a pack here as an example, that so the 10 is, again, a deck is 5 cards. So 2 decks plus 3 extra cards that you can customize with or even just collect. So, real easy to open. The decks it gives you do all match the culture of the champion cards. In this case, this is a Middle East deck. Goes to there. And so we got our 5 cards here. Champion, weapon, armor, inspiration, and special. And then it gives us our plus 3 cards, which these ones are foil. It's a little hard to tell in this light, but yeah, so this one's foil compared to not. You can kind of see it's a very subtle foiling. The thickness of the cards, they are, they're thicker than your typical trading card game card, but not overly thick. So it gives them a nice bit of stability because, again, since you're not, shuffling your cards like you do in a typical TCG, you don't really, you can get away with not sleeving these. If because you're not manipulating the cards as much as you do in a typical TCG. So anyway, 3 cards in the middle are going to be foil, And they're going to be kind of a random assortment. Like this one's a special from North Africa, Egyptian, Norse armor, and a Chinese special card. And then the second deck. So you got, looks like this one is a Japanese one. And there are multiple sets of champions and objects and such from each culture. And so yeah, the idea is you buy one pack and you and a friend can immediately sit down and play with the cards, and you get some extras to either customize the deck with or, just stick in a binder. And of course, it's a collectible trading card game. You want to collect everything, right? So even if you don't necessarily want to build a lot of decks, this is some really nice artwork to collect, and it gives you some fun historical tidbits and notes and the flavor text of each card. So in preparation for this, I opened up an entire booster box, so 24 packs of this base set called Empire Builders, and got a pretty good chunk of the entire set. There's only a few missing, and then not very many duplicates either. Again, they are packed where it's an entire set of a champion and objects from their culture, but then in the set, like we got Japanese here, Japanese, India. So yeah, you get a few different sets, so you can mix and match even just from within the same culture. There's multiple options for building out your loadout cards. And yeah, there are, I believe it's over 200 cards in the set. There we go. So yeah, I finally got to where one we didn't pull, and this one I think comes from, it's one of the Russian cards, I believe. And then it goes into the foil cards. Again, the foil is really, really subtle with these cards, but the overall quality is pretty decent. This is all just from one box, and then as we get to this point, let's see, this is card number 240. I have these blank spaces because there is a set of cards, almost like secret rares. So they have reprints of the different, like this is Cyrus the Great of Persia. Yeah, so there's a whole different set. It's like a full art, a little fancier layout, all the way to this one, Emperor Uda with his cat. But yeah, there's cards that go all the way in between. I think the Uda one is actually the last card numerically in the set. This is number 291. But yeah, gorgeous artwork. If you are not a fan of AI, this game is for you. They have a pledge that they do not use any AI for their art. They only hire real artists. So if that is something that matters to you, there's a point in its favor. And I mean, yeah, the artwork is phenomenal. It's a really nice, I like the concept of the game. The gameplay, like I said, is pretty simple. There's good educational value to it because each card has flavor text that tells you more about that person or whatever aspect of the culture is represented in the card. It covers, this first set covers ancient Britain, Egypt, the Caliphate, Rome, Greece, Japan, China, India, and it's a really neat concept. And I think it's definitely worth checking out if your local game store carries it. Or, if you're a homeschool parent or an educator, this could be a fun tool to add to your educational arsenal. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out. We do carry it at our website, montrosegamecorner.com. I would definitely recommend starting with the starter game, get your feet wet, kind of understand the rules. And then, if you're ready to expand either your collection or start building more stuff, check out the booster packs. Anyway, I hope this review, as rambly as it was helpful to you. Maybe it intrigues you about checking out this game a little further. I would definitely encourage you to do so. Let me know in the comments if you had any questions or things I could clarify for you, and we will catch you in the next video.